Newsom is saying he is considering a statewide curfew. Daily COVID-19 cases have doubled in California over the last 10 days, forcing the governor's office to pull an emergency brake. Newsom said at a press conference detailing the state's response, a total of 41 out of California's 58 counties are now classified as purple, the tier of COVID-19 related spread requiring the strictest lockdown guidelines. Just 13 counties were classified purple last week. Newsom said his team is reviewing studies from France, Germany, and Saudi Arabia on the efficacy of their strategies as it relates to curfews. The governor referred statewide curfews of interest in Massachusetts and Virginia as examples of what Californians could resemble. California officials are still in discussions on whether to implement the curfew and key details about how it could be enforced. Since you are from California, how excited are you about this?
I can't wait. Bring it on. I mean, every day when that guy speaks, I just feel energized and motivated, and I want to buy a gun. That's usually the end result of listening to him. It's coming. It's each day they're thinking of new ways, and I'm just wondering what's the end game. What are they trying to accomplish by stripping away this? You said you go to the gym every day? We haven't had gyms open since April, March. I mean, they've been closed all summer. You just get used to it now, the fact that you can't go into a restaurant. Bars aren't open. Gyms aren't open. Basketball nets aren't up because you don't want people playing basketball right now. You could die of COVID. You know, it's a proven fact. You play a game on one-on-one, you're dying. It's over. Newsom, you know, and he is such a hypocrite. It's just unbelievable. And he's even pissing people off that like him. You know, the fact that he had that dinner in Napa Valley for 12 people, a 50th birthday party that he's at. I'll apologize. The Sacramento Bee ripped him, you know, really. They gave him a really harsh editorial. It's coming. And Garcetti's talking about even more restrictions for LA County. Next week, ask me, because there will be so many more limitations. Orange County, who looks at themselves as kind of, you know, a maverick almost. They like to do their own thing. They just got hammered yesterday. They have to shut everything down. Churches, you name it. I mean, it's so bad. And they do it in a way that it almost is normalizing how you think of things. You get used to it. Like, we have 2 kids that are very active in sports. You're used to hauling them around constantly, right, Pat? You're always taking your kids to practice, to a game. You got to coordinate your schedules. It's been 7 months without doing it, and it would feel weird doing it again. So I think this is all part of a scheme to just slowly, they're using COVID. I'm not saying it's not a disease and people aren't dying of it and people aren't suffering from it, but it is a politicized weapon, and California is at the forefront of how they're using it.
Steve.
I agree with you 100%. Although I am a mask wearer, I'm social distancing. This is, other than flying on an airplane a couple of times since this all started, this is as close as I've been to most people. My wife and I, because of our semi-retirement status now, if we go out to eat, it's usually mid-afternoon when there's nobody else in the restaurants. And as I mentioned before we started the podcast today, when this all first started, I thought it was a politically motivated approach by the Democratic Party, to be quite honest with you. Until my oldest son is an orthopedic surgeon in Atlanta. And I would talk to him about it. And he sent me a letter that a colleague of his had written, a guy he went to med school with out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. They graduated West Virginia University Med School. And I read, this guy's on the front lines. Now, my son is a pediatric orthopedic surgeon. He specializes in pediatric spinal surgery. So he's not directly on the front line. When he's not doing surgeries, he's supporting those that are on the front lines. When I read what his colleague, his buddy, was going through on a daily basis, and the just watching people die and not being able to do anything about it, changed my opinion completely. So I believe that this is an issue. Is it as big as the media has blown it up to be? That I'm not sure, but it does not hurt me to wear a mask. People say I have a right not to wear a mask. I don't remember reading that in the Constitution. You know, a mask is not about doing what this party or that party or the government tells you to do. Wearing a mask is respect, that I'm going to respect your space. I would appreciate it if you wear a mask.
Yeah.
You know, they've done studies. You see the NIH and CDC come out with studies, and you look at the percentages. If both of us are wearing a mask, the possibility, if this is true, the possibility of us passing the virus to each other is drastically reduced. So out of respect for everybody else in the world, I'm going to wear a mask. You don't want to wear a mask? I don't care. That's your decision.
You know, I think you can use the data however you want. I think people on the other side can say that there is no benefits. CDC, and I'm not arguing with you or telling you you're wrong, but you know, you have to wear one in California. When you're out, you have to wear one, so you have to do it. But man, I don't think, you know, being indoors, I don't know if you need a mask. If you have some symptoms or if you've tested positive, or I don't know. I think it's odd when young, healthy people wear masks inside.
What's really odd is you see somebody in the car by themselves wearing a mask.
Or people jogging and they're wearing them.
That
can't be healthy, breathing in those fibers.
Yeah, I posted something on Twitter 5 months ago. I don't know if you remember that guy, and it created a ruckus 6 months ago. I saw a guy literally wearing a mask. I took a picture of it. And I said, wearing a mask in a car driving by yourself is like wearing a condom in bed while you're by yourself. What do you have a condom on to go to sleep? There's
thing, right?
nobody around you, then you have a condom on and you go, maybe some people do that. I don't know.
You know, you go through the news, the one word you see more than anything is safe. Everything has got to be safe. Are we safe? Could you imagine when Lewis and Clark were trying to, you know, move their way west and settlers, and it's just constantly having the word safe in front of you is anti-American. I think they are desensitizing Americans with the only thing that matters is we have to save every life. You know, we have to make sure everybody's safe 100% of the time. There's no way you should be in jeopardy of contracting this virus. So we're going to do everything we have to make sure that you're safe. It's wearing me out.
They're going to legislate our safety. That's what's
and they'll have the media on the front lines.
But here's the thing. I mean, if you don't mind sharing, you said when you go back home tonight, when you fly back, what did you say you're going to do when you go back home?
I'll self-isolate for 10 days.
Self-isolate in the basement for 10 days. So Steve's not just saying this, and you would probably consider yourself a conservative. Very conservative, and he's still pro-mask, and he's going to self-isolate for 10 days.
Do you stay away from your wife because she wasn't on this trip then, or your grandkids?
Yeah.
So it's just you for 10 days.
Well,
and the remote.
Like at dinner, so we don't go out and eat when I'm in self-isolation, and this will be the third time it's happened since this whole thing started, so I don't travel too much now. But if we order in, then I'll sit in the dining room, and my wife will sit in the kitchen so we can talk to each other. You know, it's just. We're in the high risk group because of our ages, you know, depending on who you listen to, and it's just not worth the risk.
I fully agree with you on that part about high risk group ages. Yesterday I spoke to Dr. Stephen Gundry, who he has done 10,000 heart surgeries in his life. Okay, he's a legend when it comes onto that world, and I talked to him about masks because he made a video about masks. And he made one video saying masks don't work. He says there's no way in the world he says, as a doctor, I wear a mask for other reasons, but for you can wear a mask and I still can get coronavirus through you. And then, you know, I started asking him questions. I said, what's your position now? He says, I believe people should be wearing masks. I said, your position changed though? He says, yes, it did. If I was wrong, I said it, I'm wrong. So he is now about wearing masks. But what Fauci said yesterday, I don't know if you guys caught what Fauci said yesterday. Yes, I did. Fauci said yesterday, Kai, did you hear what Fauci said yesterday? Fauci said we may need to wear a mask forever in America moving forward. Meaning this mask thing may be a permanent thing in America. Think about that. Yeah. Forever, we will be wearing masks.
I think it's an incredibly harmful thing for him to say. The way the data changes. Yesterday the news was about a new vaccine that has a 95% effectiveness rate. So what are you talking about? More fear, more scaring people. How the hell do you know that? You don't even know what's going to happen in 2 weeks regarding coronavirus. And then they're trying to tell you, the CDC literally has rules out. You can find it about what you should be doing over the holidays and not singing and doing all this outside of what the states are telling you and your local governor. The CDC is as well. But man, that was a dangerous statement for him to say. And why bum people out to that level? Why can't we have hope that the vaccine is going to work? That'd be like like an uninformed opinion about mumps. You know, mumps are going to be here forever. Measles are going to be deadly for the rest of time. You know, and not giving our medical community the chance to.
Rough when you're flirting with people, though. Just think about it for the flirting community. So everybody's like, hey, let's just say someone's got pretty eyes, and like, how you doing? And then all of a sudden the mask comes down. You're like, dude, I totally screwed up. What do we do now? You go on a date. You know, do you make out with a mask on? It's like, so first base used to be what? First base is first base holding. What's first base? Kissing?
I think so.
If first base is kissing, But that's without a mask. So what is it? Halfway? It's like with a mask. If we get, I'm halfway there to first base is kissing. But this thing's getting very technical for me. I mean, if I was single today, it'd be very complicated. Thank God I'm married because I don't have to worry about that stuff. But the single world, man, you go on a date. Hi, so what's your name? You know, can I see what you look like? Then the grill is all jacked up, and I don't know. I'm very concerned for the single community.
You know what? There's a big
Tinder's taking a big hit, by the way, just so you know that. Tinder's taking a massive hit today for our Tinder community out there.
Clear mask. That's probably the way, so you can actually see what somebody looks like. Those freak me out, though. Have you seen the clear mask? They're weird. Yeah.
Have you seen the clear mask? What do you think about it when you see a clear mask? Actually, what do you think about it? I'm curious. What do you guys think about it when you see people with a clear mask? You've never seen it? You have seen it? I've seen it. You go in there, they're wearing these masks, goes like up to here, and it's glass masks. Yeah. What do you think about that?
Oh, now I saw one at the Dallas DFW
Yeah.
last night when I landed.
To me, it's like a little bit, it's like Neiman Marcus-ish, you know, because, you know, when you wear one of those ghetto masks, I feel like you go to Walmart. When you wear one with like some cloth, maybe you're going to Macy's. But when I see this glass type of stuff, like your shield, you're like, listen, man, maybe it's, you know, Apple mask. Apple should come out. By the way, Apple could probably monetize this. They come out with a mask and there's a screen, you're watching TV, and you have the mask on.
It's next.
They would probably do something like that.
Yeah.
Well, they have masks now that you wear around your ears, but this part is clear. I saw one at DFW last night when I landed here.
Yeah, that's the ones I was talking about. They're freaky. I don't like them.
It was. It was. I don't know why, but it was.
It is what it is. Again, it's a very, very weird time when it comes onto these masks. And Fauci said, by the way, if you're watching this, I know many of you guys are diehard Fauci fans. Fauci said, wear a mask forever. How many of you are very comfortable knowing you're going to have to wear a mask for the rest of your life?
Can I say this?
Can I vote now?
Are you really not? No, not.
I don't want to wear a mask the rest of my life.
That's what Fauci's saying, though.
You know, I think Fauci's a clown. I really do. I think he's lost all credibility. Every other week he says something stupid. He backpedals. He's a whiner. You know, he can't take it when Trump says something about him. I would like the head epidemiologist or whatever his title is for 35 years to be a little stronger. Can we recommend Fauci read that book, No More Mr. Nice Guy? I mean, he really needs it. The guy's a wuss. He really is.
Fauci, go read No More Mr. Nice Guy. That's classic.